One of the big pieces is that from the designing to building a defensible security architecture, this was 2 years ago. This is a PCI screen, not the red lines. That's my handiwork. So this is a timeline, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. An auditor is coming in right about here. And so this is in normal security state. This is for staff. And then the auditor's coming here, and then all of a sudden, I call it the hustle curve. Staff starts cranking up, start looking at the logs, start getting all the policies, procedures in place, and then the auditor comes in, we look real good, and the auditor leaves, we pass or fail or combination of both, and then we go back down to normal compliance. So from a vision point of view, I'd like you all to consider about turning security into an always-on piece where it's a defensible argument all the time and not this undulating approach. And so I think it's easier to maintain and support having that as a vision where we're not, the auditor walks in the door and seconds you're showing them exactly what they need to do and it's always on. So this is how we like to approach audit and compliance. Now, one of the big things is the complexity. It is a mess. It is a complete disaster between NIST, PCI, DOD, cyber insurance, high trust, HIPAA, FFIC, NCUA. It's a rat's nest. And what we've done is, so you have to appreciate this because we don't have a choice. We absolutely do not have a choice. However, how do we interpret this information, satisfy one or multiple of these, but then also maintain an affordable, low-cost, highly robust security environment? And we have found we cannot do it by just jumping around to all of these. We actually have to come up with a strategy that addresses all of them so you can defend no matter what you're asked for. And this avoids what we see, the auditor wagging the security, wagging the CIO. And this, I have a podcast with Jack Jones on this. I think the biggest piece is having a vision that the auditor, you're going to appreciate the auditor, what they're saying, but you're going to go toe-to-toe. You're going to have the ability to go toe-to-toe with them and saying, no, we're not doing that. We understand that risk, but we've come up with a compensating control. We accept that risk. So it's having that type of and being able to have it on the spot. Not having to have your team scramble for 2 weeks to get you in a position to win that argument. We do it here. Again, I don't care which framework you use for this. We dump all of these into this. So our goal is not to add another one of these little bubbles in the knot, but actually take them and bury them in. So that we can see, okay, if an auditor comes in for PCI so what this happens is that this is a gap. This is the minimal acceptable level to be at. This is achievement of 8 is perfect. Now, why do we say that? Why do we say, so some people get angst about that, like, I can't show this to people because they're gonna want me to be a 10. Well, that's perfection. We're not trying to gear for perfection with security. By showing this, you're by default stating that you cannot be perfect. And I say, how many of you have a VP of sales in your organizations? Okay. When was the last time a VP of sales said, we're absolutely going to deliver you the revenue, $30 million and $550,000.49, and I guarantee it? Never. Absolutely never. So why should you? Now, you can't say that because they think you've got their back covered. Well, this is demonstrating you've got their back covered without actually coming out and saying, well, I can't cover everything, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, you're saying, I can cover all of this, I'm going to need $1 million. But if you just give me 200, I can take care of all of this. And that's my focus for this year. That's the type of dialogue that we're seeing as being the most effective dialogue. Auditors want to see you've got budgetable programs and you understand their complexity and that you can budget for it. And this drives budgeting. So it makes most auditors scurry away.